Welcome to Technique Friday with Els. Today I'll be showing you how to use our stamps designed by Krista Schneider in combination with their coordinating dies. So we have two different flower sets. We have the Flower Power, and I'm going to use one of the flowers from that set, and then we have the Spring Blooms. So one tip, save your packaging, because I'm not an artist or a perfect colorist, but Krista is. So if you save her packaging, you can kind of see where she puts her shadows, and so always easy as a guideline. And then we have the coordinating dies, and they cut beautifully around the stamps. So these are the two sets for the flowers. And then the other dies I'm using for this card, because I'm going to show you how to make this one. That is the Leafy Branch 2 from Moda Scrap and the Dotted Scallop Square. So those are the sets I'm using, and this is just a sample board. Most of these cards, actually, I only made these ones. These are all done by our design team members. We have a fantastic design team, and if you go to our Facebook page or blog, you can see all their work, and you will find all these cards there as well. They're absolutely beautiful. So today I'm going to make this one. So I'm going to put the sample board away. So the product I'm using today for coloring, you can see I already stamped it, and I started coloring. And for the stamping, I have to say I use the Misty perfect stamping tool, and it gives you such a beautiful, crisp and clear stamp image. It's perfect. And in this case, I'm using the Pro markers. I love those, especially for stamps, because they have the small bullet nib. And for coloring smaller parts, I really like that. And I have to say, I had my Pro markers for a while, and they changed. So now they're Winsor & Newton Pro marker. And you can see they changed a little bit. One of the things that changed, but I think is a big advantage, they have the sticker on the back now with the color. And beautiful, beautiful product to work with. So Pro markers, Winsor & Newton. So I'm going to show you how they color. And you can use any alcohol-based marker, but especially for the stamps, I really like the one with the bullet nib. So I'm just going to show you a little part. So what I like to do, and of course everybody has their own way of working, whatever works for you. So you color the light first. Then I go in with my dark a little bit, and then I go in with my darkest color, and then I go back with my lightest and kind of, make a circular motion and blend it in together. Let me show you one more. So I do the light color first, then I take the darker, like the middle color, and I will take a little bit of the dark, and then you go back with your lightest and kind of blend it together. And you can go back in, at one point you don't want to stay in too long, because then it might bleed outside of the lines. I'm using here the soft finish cardstock, the smooth side, and then the 100 lb, because if your paper is too light, it will bleed through easy, but with the soft finish cardstock, the 100 lb, it works really well. So that's for the coloring. And then here I have a die cut. So what you do, you take your die and you just put it on there. And I like to die cut after I color it, because then you have some hands-on, so it's easier, because if I need to do a scribble, I can do it there. So you put your line on there, line it up really nicely, and then I like to use a piece of removable tape, or maybe two, to keep it in place. So line it up, stick it down, and then run it through your die cutting machine of choice. Any die cutting machine will work with the thin dies. So then I have this, so that's my flower. And then I will pick up my card. So first thing I'm going to do is put my ribbon around a piece of, so that's a square I cut, and this is the Through the Lens cardstock. And I'm going to take a piece of double-sided adhesive, and I can actually stick it on here. Take this up, and then take my ribbon and just line it up nicely. And then I'm going to put a small piece of tape on the back as well, so I can fold my ribbon over. Here you go. Then I'm going to put this piece on my dotted scallop square. And I will put 3D foam under the dotted scallop square, but you can put 3D foam, of course, wherever you want to raise it. So this will fit in here. Here we go. And then here I have my square card, soft finish cardstock, and I love the texture of the soft finish cardstock. And I already cut some pieces of 3D foam. Take that off. Line this up nicely. Normally I would stand up, but because of the camera I can't. Because lining up something is always easy when you stand up. So we go for this one. And then here I have those two little branches. So I cut those out of the soft finish, the colored soft finish. And you will find the colors in the description. So you can print out your project sheet. And then here I'm only going to put, so I'm not going to put 3D foam dots everywhere, because I want to stick those little branches underneath there. So I only do it in the center. And then you just stick down the flower. I'm going to put a pearl in the center of the flower. That's that. And then I have those little branches. And I'm going to snip them off a bit, because in this case I'm going to tuck them under that flower. And then I'm going to take a little bit of kids glue, and you see it's Kids Choice glue. It's very well used, you can see that. So I just put a little bit of glue on the sheet, kind of dip this in there and just tuck it underneath there. You see, because then I don't want to have this all flat as well, because I want to have a little bit of dimension in there. And that's the second one. And that's it. So this will dry like this. And that's your card. It's a beautiful card. Thank you for watching. I've suggested a couple of videos that I think you might enjoy. See you next time.